Okay. All right. Let's go. Yo, Shalom Israel. This is Priest and Officer YAHANNA, and we are the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA since 1969, and we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite camp. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you're not in the truth. Now, this is the Houston Monday Scripture Breakdown class. Today, we're going to be going over who the Bible is about and what the Bible is about. Now, a lot of people might think the Bible is a religious book. It's not a religious book. The Bible is actually a book. You know, it's about a nation of people, you know, these things that actually happen, you know, God's chosen people. You know, this is what this Bible is about. God's chosen people. For the new people, you know what I'm saying, they might be watching, you know, that they might seen us at the protests, you know, while they protest and we observing everything, making sure our people see us. You know, we handing out flyers, getting the truth out there. You know, if you got us off a flyer, you know, if somebody knew about us, you know, you tuning in tonight. You know, tonight we're going over who the Bible is for and what it's about. All right. First off, I want to say big shout out to everybody that came. You know, when the general was here, you know, the general gave an awesome class. You know what I'm saying? It was much brotherhood. Hey, shout out to Dawada for building this nice king table right here. Right. You know what I'm saying? This table is bigger than me. You can't really see me on the camera because this he called it the. Hey, also one of y'all call it the Tower of Babel right here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like a wall in front of me right here. You know. But shout out to everybody. I want to say I want to give us a special condolences to Kwataziyan Malakwat. You know what I'm saying? He suffered a loss right now. This brother is a strong, mighty brother, somebody I dearly look up to. Life for any day. I just want to say, most high be with you and your family, sir. But with that, we finna get into this lesson. So we're gonna start at Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. We're starting at Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Let me know where you got it. Okay, let's get it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people.
For thou art an holy people. Can anybody tell me what holy means? What does holy mean?
So I mean separate, sir.
Holy means separate, set apart. So from the beginning of the time, you know, when from the Lord, he separated Adam from everybody else. Adam was the first man. You know, there was more people on the earth at the time, but Adam was considered to be the man. He knew he had wisdom nobody else had. You know, blacks, Native Indians, Hispanics. We are God's chosen people. We are separate from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He made us a holy people. Continue reading.
Unto the Lord thy God.
That's right.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Okay, now everybody talk about all lives matter right now, right? You know what I'm saying? But who is getting murdered right now? What nation of people is getting murdered and nothing is happening to the murderer?
Nation of Israel.
That's right. That's right. Black people are getting murdered right now. You know what I'm saying? We are broken as a nation right now. Everybody is trying to be a part of America. You know what I'm saying? We need to separate from America and go turn back to our heritage. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get further into it. But this is how we start. We're starting with this separate scripture first. Continue reading.
Have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Mm-hmm.
Above.
So wait, hold up. So you was chosen. You know what I'm saying? This is not an option. This is not an option. Oh, well, that's y'all belief. You know, if you're a black, Native Indian, Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? You are chosen to be a special unto the Most High. So you don't try to be like the other nations out here. You know what I'm saying? Let these other nations do what they know. Let the oppressor go out there and eat rare meat. You know what I'm saying? Let the Asians go out there and have calamari. You know what I'm saying? And octopus. You know, let these East Indians, you know, eat rats and bats too. You know what I'm saying? Israelites, you know, the Arabs, they like to eat camel. You know what I'm saying? Let them go out there and do what they do. Right. You know what I'm saying? A camel, man. It's unlawful. You know what I'm saying? Don't be messing with no camel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like eating a horse. You know what I'm saying? Leave that thing alone. But you come up here, you know what I'm saying? You eat some lamb. You know what I'm saying? That's what we waiting on right now, the Passover, ain't it?
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? We waiting for that day. Continue reading on that.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above what?
Above all people.
Above all people. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be special above all people. You know, not equal to everybody bleed red. No, you supposed to be special above because the Most High chose you. You supposed to be special and above all people on earth. You know what I'm saying? Continue reading.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any other
I
people.
think that's 7-1. That's what we're gonna start it off at now. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Holy means to be separate. The Lord chose you. It's not an option that you have. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a black man, Native Indian man, Hispanic man, you are chosen to be special to the Most High. You know, it might sound strange because we in the lowest state. We in hell as a nation. You know what I'm saying? We got cigarette addictions. You know what I'm saying? Brothers like that weed. Brothers can't leave that weed alone. You know what I'm saying? Brothers selling drugs. And you think we God's chosen people? We in hell though. You know, if He loved us so much, why we living like this? But we finna get to that. You know what I'm saying? We finna get to why we are in the condition we in. You know what I'm saying? This is why the I.S.U.P.K is so important because we can reverse it. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be above all nations. We are better than all nations, but it's a way you do it. You know what I'm saying? It's instructions on how to be in that position. You know, and that's what the I.S.U.P.K is here for. We finna get to it. Read Deuteronomy 27:1 for me.
Kind of one kind. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all which I command you this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee,
Mm-hmm.
and playest there.
You read Deuteronomy 27:1?
Yes, sir.
Read it
And
from the top one more time.
verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the which I command you this day.
Right. So now it's commandments that we have to follow to be above all nations on the face of the earth. Now, if you're familiar with the story of Moses, right? The Most High chose Moses to lead the nation of Israel out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think to this day that we're Africans, and we are not Africans. You know what I'm saying? There's a distinction between blacks and Africans. You know what I'm saying? From Negroes and Africans. Now, the Lord, he did a number on the Egyptians, man. You know what I'm saying? He did a number on the Egyptians. So if you trying to follow Egyptology, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to call yourself a so-called African, you know what I'm saying? That you're actually putting yourself in a lesser position. You know what I'm saying? The Lord destroyed them a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna show you something. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna show you a distinction between a Negro and an African. You know what I'm saying? This is Ham in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. You know what I'm saying? So it's popular to believe that Negroes and Africans are the same, but we are not the same. You know what I'm saying? When we got into Africa, well, how did we get into Africa? We was escaping, we was fleeing from Roman persecution. You know, so that's how we got into Africa. The Africans, they saying that we was different people. They rounded us up and sold us to the oppressor. You know, I'm gonna get what I'm saying to back it up. You know, I got the from Babylon to Timbuktu right here, and I'm finna read that what I said to you. So this is page 84 from Babylon to Timbuktu. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed and resided of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets was full of black Jewish slaves. Oh no, yeah, give it to him. Come on, give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just showing how at one point we were in the Middle East. You know, we that Jerusalem and Israel, you know, that the whole Middle East over there, that's where we were. You know what I'm saying? That's where blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics were. But the Romans came over there, you know, and just did a great slaughter over there. So we was trying to run from them. And just think about it today. Like if you running from somebody, you know, they trying to kill you, and you know, and then, you know, it's a great place to hide and blend in and camouflage. You know, you got dark people over here, so I could just go over there and blend in. They won't even notice. You know, so that's what was going on. You know what I'm saying? We was running from the Romans. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got into Africa. They seen that we was different people. They rounded us up, sold us to our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? That's actually in the scriptures too. You know, give me Deuteronomy. I'm gonna come back to that Deuteronomy 27. Give me 28 and 68. 28 and 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord said He gonna bring us again into Egypt with ships. Now, if you don't know anything about Egypt, you can't enter Egypt on a ship. It's surrounded by land. You know what I'm saying? It's a landmass surrounded by mass. By land. So you can't pull a ship into Egypt because it's like in the middle of Africa, right? You know what I'm saying? So Egypt it means house of bondage. Anybody got the precept on that? Nobody got the precept on it? Come on, sir.
Exodus 22.
Get Exodus 22 for me. So he say, I'm gonna bring you into Egypt again with ships. We're gonna get the reason why. You know what I'm saying? This is a curse. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the Lord said, He told Moses to tell the children of Israel to keep all the commandments. You know, we supposed to be keeping all the commandments. It's a way that we supposed to live and be above all nations and be special to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And not be equal to anybody, but better than everybody. Right? Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. That's you know what I'm saying? It's another precept on it. There's like 3 more precepts on it too. You know what I'm saying? He's saying Egypt is the house of bondage. You got something you want to say, sir?
No. You hit like what I wanted to say when you brought up Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Come on, sir.
And the brother was reading, you had him stop. Like that was important also because the Lord chose us from among everybody else for the simple fact. The Lord chose us from among, all the other nations for the simple fact that He loved us.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? And as the verse states, it says that, we were fewer and least of all the nations. So we wasn't, a strong nation. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't overtake other nations. We're actually the youngest nation of all the nations. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord chose the children of Israel strictly because He loved us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what other nations despise.
Right. And that's a heavy point, sir. That's a very heavy point. Heavy point. So, okay, now, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Read that. 28 and 1.
Kind out of one kind. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Okay, let's get it.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now it shall come to pass. I mean, it's gonna happen if you listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. All you gotta do is listen, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow instructions. You know what I'm saying? He give you an order. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, the scripture say he's a man of war, right? You know what I'm saying? When you on the something, if you don't follow them orders, it might cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? So he gave us commandments to follow, right? Continue reading.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Read that last part one more time.
That thy Lord thy God, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now, what does that sound like to you? What does it sound like?
Heaven, sir.
Yeah, it's another word I'm looking for though. For time's sake, I give it to you. Rulership. It sounds like rulership, right? Now, isn't it ironic that the people that got the most flavor, style, culture is at the bottom of the earth? You know what I'm saying? Of all nations, we get losing this race. Isn't it ironic? The people that make the best music, you know what I'm saying, inspire fashion, inspire style, you know, recipes. Everybody like our food, oxtails, you know what I'm saying? Isn't it ironic that the people with the most flavor is at the bottom? How ironic is that? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. You know, a Negro, he get a Benz, he gonna put some rims on that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep it clean. He gonna wash it every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You get a white boy, you know, he just gonna ride the factory. You know, he gonna have it dirty for like 3 weeks and then get it washed, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we throw candy paint on the car, you know. So we take the cheapest car in the hood and tweak it out. You know what I'm saying? The cars that nobody want. 2001 Buick. Nobody want that until they see them 84s on that thing, right? Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's some swag coming down the street. You hear me 3 blocks away. You know what I'm saying? 215s in the trunk. Make a whole culture out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't get that from other nations. You know, other nations want to be like us. What tripped me out was when I seen a slab in China. I was like, damn, a slab in China? What they know about the culture, man? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Everything, like you were saying, the way they the way their clothes, the way they wear their clothes now, hats backwards. They got dance groups. You know, they get in America's Got Talent and all these dance shows, and all they doing is copying and assimilating themselves the way black people do.
Right.
You know and they learn that from us, as well as their people sending them over here to sell all of their products in our way. You know what I'm saying? They know that we gon' they cater to us when they do their products. They studied black people. They know what to sell us, and then they also end up, like I say, copying after us, right?
And that's good point.
They actually put breakdancing in the Olympics, and ain't none of us hit it except Asians.
Nah.
They got Asians doing all breakdancing in the Olympics.
Now, what we call that is, we call it culture appropriation, right? Which is to steal somebody else's culture, then exclude them from their own culture, because if you put the people in who you got the culture from, then they're gonna win all the awards. They're gonna take on the gold medals, the silver and the bronze. They're gonna take it all home. Right. So of course, they can't, like the brother just said, obviously Shia said, they can't run faster than us. You know what I'm saying? They can't talk better than us. They don't have what they call today that swag.
Right.
And that's the love, that's that salt of the earth, man.
Right. And if I could,
go ahead.
One more thing, how we talk. Like I want to expound on that, sir. I'm glad you brought that to my attention, because we write poetry. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. The whole Bible is written in poetry. That's why the Christian church don't understand it. Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand how a black man talks. Just average everyday black man, how he chilling in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You got pig Latin. You got cats that speak pig Latin. A buck bitty. You know what I'm saying? And he switch it all up, and they might like, well, maybe it's talking about this, and no, it's not talking about what you think it's talking about.
Right.
You leave. The oppressor should leave our culture alone. You know what I'm saying? And just leave it to the pros. We got this. Just go have your caviar or something. Let's do our thing. And then another point I wanted to say was I seen an article where Asians was buying froze now.
What?
Yeah, they was buying froze.
All kinds.
Yeah.
They have a like if I may.
Like a chemical thing that they
That they have an actual chemical that they put in their hair to make it coil up like our hair naturally does.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy. And then we want to.
Yeah, I saw that on.
Yeah.
I did. I saw that on.
And what's even more crazier though, how our sisters were paid $300 for some hair, and they got their own hair, man. The best hair. What Nelly said, I'm a sucker for cornrows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna tell you something, sister. Keep them cornrows in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look beautiful with your natural hair. Don't try to go out here and follow the wave. With this fake hair or so these Asian hairs. You know what I'm saying? That kill that. You know what I'm saying? Just wear that kinky hair. You know what I'm saying? We like that. We like what's natural. You ever heard J. Cole? You ever heard Kendrick Lamar? You know what I'm saying? Talking about that. You want to say something, sir?
Yeah, and if I may, like a lot of the brothers, a little bit younger than me may not know, right? It was in the 80s or late early 90s. I think it was like in the 80s. They had Bo Derek, right? Bo Derek, she used to be like this white woman, a model, whatever it is, and she was modeling in Sports Illustrated. And I'm bringing it up to say this: she had cornrows in her blonde hair, right, and had cornrows on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and it was a big deal back in the day, because again, that's cultural appropriation,
Right.
and what Bo Derek doing, it's no different. What Bo Derek is doing is no different than what what's the sister's name? The not sister, but the Kardashian is doing by doing the cornrows for today. You got it.
Right.
You got
It was another Edomite that had did something like that named Chelsea. The whole Black Lives Matter movement got on her case. Oh, okay, all right. But we're gonna keep it going. Basically, yeah. You read that scripture one more time. Read it one more time. We're at 21, 20, 28, and 1.
Wakan.
Everything's towards it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That's right. That's what we're talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Being above all nations on the face of the earth. We're talking about rulership here. If you listen to the Most High, keep his commandments, right? You know what I'm saying? Give me verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do.
But if you don't want to listen to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I can live how I want to live. I can eat shrimp, crab, lobster, pork. I can sleep with other nations. You know what I'm saying? You want to live how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? The Most High chose you. You know what I'm saying? He chose you to be a special people unto himself. But if you want to just say, oh, I can live how I want to live, right? Continue reading.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses, shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Read it again.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
Right. So now it's saying that's verse what, 15 and 16, right? Where you at?
15, sir.
Right. So now the verse in Deuteronomy 28, those first 15 verses, right? those first verses are telling the children of Israel, if they do the right thing, which is to do the law, statutes, and commandments, okay, and follow the order that the Lord gave to Moses, and Moses is giving those commandments to the children of Israel. If we do those commandments, we'll be put on high, right? That's what it says in the first verse. We'll be put on high above all nations on the face of the earth. Now, if we don't do those, then what'll happen again? Read it one more time.
But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice.
So if you will not hearken, turn it up a little bit. See if you can get that up. See if you can get that up a little bit, Baba Kashah. All right. So it says, if thou will not hearken, which means hearken means what? To listen, to hear, right? Right. Yeah, the volume on the speaker, so when he talks, they can hear him. So it's saying, if you will not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. And now, again, this is only speaking to Israel. So we can't look at a heathen. We can't look at a so-called white man. We can't look at the Arabs who are in our stores selling us pork, right? We can't listen to the Japanese, Chinese men and women who are selling us hair, selling us doves, rats, whatever they selling at Timmy Chan. We can't listen to them because the commandments were not given to those people. So their job actually is to keep us from not doing the commandments. See what I'm saying? All they have to do is say, all they have to do is say, well, here, eat this pork. And then they say, oh, I'll give you the pork on sale. We're like, shoot, pork on sale? We get it, take it to the family, poison our family and everybody. Now, it's more than just poisoning, right? We're messing up the relationship between us and the Most High God. And again, just like the brother brought out earlier, the Lord chose us because he loved us. And that was it. So with that, we belong to the Lord. The Lord bought us for a price. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? We've laid down in the street for other nations to just run over us. You feel what I'm saying? You stay where you at. Give me Isaiah 50, 51 and 23, right? So now, all right, so keep reading out.
Come. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right,
to observe to do all his commandments.
Now, some of the commandments.
All his commandments.
Now, I'm going to pick and choose which ones I'm going to do.
All his commandments.
Nah, you know what? I'm not going to eat pork. You know what I'm saying? But guess what I'm going to do? You know what? I'm going to eat pork, but then I'm going to grow my beard. That's going to make me an Israelite. Right? Sister say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and have 2 or 3 men. I may strip at night, right? Be a stripper at night, but during the day, shoot, I'm gonna wrap my head up, right? You're not righteous because you wrap your head up and got your, more cleavage than the Grand Canyon going on, and everybody can see it. That's not righteous. You know what I'm saying? All right, keep going, and we're not hearkening to that, right? Hearkening to the Lord to do his commandments and his statutes, right? Not the 10 commandments only, but the statutes that Moses gave to us, right? Keep going.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Now that I ask you to do these days.
Which I command thee this day.
That I'm preferring that you do.
Which I command thee
this day. It's plausible you can kind of do them or you don't really have to do them.
Which I command thee this day.
You got a free will, but I mean, what did it say?
Which I command
thee this day. There is no free
day.
will. We are commanded this day. All right, keep going.
That all these curses.
Now, some of the curses.
All these curses.
All the curses. Keep going.
Shall come upon thee. And overtake thee.
And overtake you. So when something comes overtake you, that means what? The Lord ain't with you. He turns away from you. And when he turns his head from you, we already know what happens. Your breath goes. Once your breath goes, then you die. Then once you die, what happens? Who knows right after you die what happens? Go ahead.
Like, if I may, sir, are you reincarnated?
Right. That's right. Once you die, you go before the Most High. Right? Sends your spirit. Then he sends your spirit right back to earth to live what you did the last time you was here. So if you wasn't in the truth the last time you was here, it's a strong possibility that you will never hearken. You'll keep going over the same thing spinning your wheels each time you come here. And we know that, right? Because at camp, when we go down on the camp on Main Street, we have what? Brothers who are scoffing. Sisters who got something to say about us, yelling, get down. God love everybody. You see what I'm saying? Which is nowhere in the Bible. And when that happens, right, we say, you know what? You were the same person, same spirit that was yelling at Christ, talking about crucify him, crucify him. You see what I'm saying? So we know that our spirits come back over and over again. But the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, they were the ones rocking it when Christ was here. See what I'm saying? The sisters, they were the ones being obedient, coming into the truth and getting an outer one, getting the man and serving the Lord with their outer one. That's how you forget your reproach. You know what I'm saying? That's how you forget the shame, is to get a man of the Lord and live righteously under him, right? And follow what? The order that's put out.
Right.
One of the orders that's put out is the Most High. It's rank and order. That then after that you have what? Yahweh, who they know as Christ. Then below that you have what? Man, and then woman, and of course the children. There's an order and a structure. Now, if we break the commandments, if we break the ordinances of God, what's going to happen? I tell you what happens in the conscious community. You want to know who's rank and order? Who think rank and order in the conscious community? Who's number one? It's an easy one. Who's number one? Go ahead.
So polite.
Not what Paul I did, but no, who's number one in rank and order? No. I'm talking about in the conscious community. Who do they think? Remember I said the Most High, God, man, and woman. Now I know you got it.
Okay.
So who's number one in the rank and order in the conscious community?
The woman.
The woman is God. The woman is God, right? That's not following the commandments and the ordinances of God. That's why all of the curses have come upon us. All right, keep going.
Come on. Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So now we cursed in the city. How you know we cursed in the city? Because we're doing George Floyd protests. That's why we cursed in the city, right? Because we doing what? Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, right? I can't remember the sister that got shot in the house beginning with a B. Somebody could probably help me out, you know? But it's Breonna Taylor. Appreciate that, sister, right? Now, you notice how she got there, right? Because it gets serious when it's women getting killed too. Right? Our women have become desensitized and become numb to black people getting killed in the street. Right? Or it's another one. Oh, is he kin to me? Whew, I thought it was my brother, like my uncle. Oh, well, back in the house to go watch Sanford and Son. Right? Go watch Good Times. Keep my head above water. And the Lord says that he loves us. And when we don't do what he says, he is a father with a switch. And guess who he uses? The switch. What's the switch for us? Go ahead. The white man is the switch for us. Right? So white man don't have the power. That power comes from the Lord. The white man's power comes with our disobedience for breaking the commandments. Right? That's where he gets his power. And guess what? These days he's got a lot of power. Because you got a lot of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians that refuse to come back to the Lord, our God of Israel. And he's not everybody's God. He said will not give his power and his glory to another. Right. And we want to give his glory, to Holly and Sally and Billy and Sebastian. You know what I'm saying? Tommy. Right? When they don't serve no God, they agnostic. They atheists. They don't care nothing about no God. So now you got us doing what? Breaking commandments. We cursed in the city, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't get no jobs in the city. Can't build nothing that's ours in the city. Can't even ride around our own neighborhoods in the city. All right, keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right, so just to go in 16 when it says curse and cursed shall thou be in the field, we don't have no crops. I'm saying the I.S.U.P.K are the only ones under command in General YAHANNA who are walking and surfacing, right, canvassing, right, the surface of this earth, looking for land and cattle and trying to see where we can grow crops at. Name me another organization that's doing that. You can't. You know why? Because all the money gets taken out of the storehouse. Well, it never goes in the storehouse. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our churches are supposed to be. A lot of these curses, majority of these curses, come because of our black Christian leadership. And what the Christian leadership has not done. It's not what they're doing, it's what they're not doing. How many people went to church? All right, how many people went to church and knew that you was an Israelite in the church because the pastor told you? You? Absolutely not. Right? And the more you come in here, sis, and the more that you learn the Bible, you're going to realize how much that our pastors preach for a profit. They work for hire. Right? And they're not telling you the truth about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't read the Bible without realizing that the whole Bible is about Israelites. Like, how can a preacher teach around not saying the Israelites? Like, not even telling you were Israelite, not even what? Mentioning Israelite. Church that the word Israelite didn't even come up at all. John 3:16 came up though. God so loved the world. And that's why we curse. Because the interpretation of that also means that God loved only the Israelites. And he loved us and he chose us. That's what that's saying. You see what I'm saying? All right, give me some more. Let's find out the curses.
Come on, sir. Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep.
So we can't grow crops, period. Every time you try to live, you're going to get sick, period. You see what I'm saying? Everything you try to build is going to be a decrease. If you can get some land to plant it in. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they don't even believe the Bible. You know why? Because the Bible is full of rams, sheep, bullock, you know, different cattle. And Negroes is like, I ain't never been off my block. You're talking about sheep and cattle and ram. They can't even adapt to it. That we used to have a overconsumption of these things. And the Lord has taken all of it. And these Negroes got the nerve to say, I'm not an Israelite. When we fall under all of these curses. And they got the nerve to say, well, how can you tell you an Israelite just by going over, you know, how can you tell you an Israelite just by going over Deuteronomy 28? How can you know, like how do you know you're Israelite? You know, then they'll say, well, I read the Bible 5 or 6 times. Come on, man. How you gonna read the Bible once and not see the word Israelite? Right? You know why? Because the Lord don't want everybody. That's why. And the understanding of the context is in the scriptures. Right? That's where the Holy Spirit is, in these scriptures. And if you can't understand it and see yourself in it, the Lord ain't dealing with you. And that's not an excuse. That's the truth. Right? That's why I.S.U.P.K is undefeated. Right? When we go against fake Israelite groups and, you know, Christian pastors and anybody else. Right? Okay, you got a question?
Come on.
Go ahead.
I have something to add to that.
Is that mic on? Can't hear you.
Oh, I had something to add to it. To that the curse right here. So,
okay, go ahead.
Like the Native Americans, when they, you know what I'm saying, they came here and they was trying to multiply, do their thing.
Right.
You know, and then you got Christopher Columbus coming over, you know, he see that they generous people, you know, wipe them out. You know what I'm saying? They land was now stolen now from them. You know, their blood their blood is still in the land, you know.
That's right.
They don't have the land that they thought they was gonna have.
Right. And not only do they have the land, you know, they don't have anything. See what I'm saying? Like they don't even, whoever writes the history and controls the narrative, you know, is the one who's gonna tell the story and look like he's the hero. And guess what? That's also a curse. Right? That they would be dropped down to let me see. Curse I don't wanna miss that. We'll go back up, but give me where it says Let me see. Let's go to I think it's 32. Give me just a second. Okay, just drop down to iron, right? Verse 23. Watch, I'll show you something. I'll give you the exact reason why.
Come. Verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass,
Mm-hmm.
and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
So what does that mean? And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. What does that mean? What does that mean? Go ahead.
It's talking about prison, sir.
It's talking about prison, man. See what I'm saying? Talking about prison and what's going to happen. All right? That's why this book is so poetical. You got to know the book. Now, again, we make up what? Everybody knows this, right? We make up what? At least less than 15% of the American population. We are like 13 to 15%. We make 80, close to 85 now. 80 to 85% of the jail population is nothing but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians locked in prison. Right? And that's how you, when you want to lock up people down, you go after the man, you get him out the house. Right? That's also a curse. And because of that curse, this is what happens, right? Because of that curse, drop down to drop down to verse 30. Let me make sure that's right before you say it. Yep, we're gonna read 30 and then drop down to 32.
Come on, sir. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Oh, say that part again. Good night.
Come. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
You see that? So you're gonna betroth a wife. What does betroth mean? Go ahead. Right, promise to be married to, right? Right, you see what I'm saying? So you betroth, but then guess what? Another man gonna lie with it. Now, how does that happen? How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happens. You may be your high school sweetheart. You say, oh man, we're gonna get married when we get older. We're gonna be together. No, you're not. Because he's gonna go to jail and somebody else gonna end up laying with you. And a sister gonna lay with him and have children from that man. Right? Keep going.
Come. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Now, who does that? Now, remember now, when I say black people, I'm talking about all 12 tribes, right? So who does that? Because I don't see a lot of black people on roofs in the heat of the day. But who do we see on those roofs in the heat of the day? Go ahead.
Hispanic brothers.
Our Hispanic brothers. And they build, I don't know how many houses for everybody else. But they don't dwell inside of those houses. But they build houses for other nations, right? All in River Oaks, all over there, San Felipe, right? Montrose, right? Supposed to be the uppity up neighborhoods, man. But guess what? They even building houses in our own neighborhoods, all on the roof all day. I didn't see one roof. I saw one house. I didn't see the house. I saw just the lot that it was gonna sit on. I walked through there about 4 or 5 days later. It was a house there. I said, golly, just that fast. But there's no Mexicans living inside of their house, right? Keep going.
Come. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof.
Right. So how many of again? A lot of our people be in the fields, but we know for a fact that what our Hispanic brothers are in those fields. Right. Because why? They call those workers, when the coronavirus came, they call the Mexican workers what?
Essential workers.
They called them essential workers then. Before then, they were just what? Some wetbacks. Right? They were people who were coming across the border. Right? They living under the curses too. That's why those are our brothers, our Israelite brothers, man. Right? From the same father who is Jacob. Right? Who is the progenitor or the father of the 12 tribes of the lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Right? So when you see your Hispanic brother, you know what I'm saying, You speak to him or her, right? Especially when you in the truth. They may not know. That's what Christ came to do, right? To stop the division and the schism between those two southern kingdom and northern kingdoms. Right? That's why he said in Matthew 18 and 11, the Son of Man come to get those which are lost. He was talking about our Hispanic brothers at that time, right? Okay, give me some more.
You said drop down to 32, sir.
Right.
Come. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people.
Stop. You hear that? Whose sons and daughters are given to another people? The Arabs? God forbid. No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me the so-called white man's children are given to another nation. So how is the Amalek, who are the so-called Jewish people, and the one with the little shirt, the Shirley Temple braids that hang down and the little hat, got the little yarmulke. They're not the real Jews, because the real Jews are supposed to cover. They're supposed to have that. See that right there? Right. It's basically supposed to have a crown open at the top, a hole on the, on the holy crown at the top, right? And so you have the Jewish people covering their top. That's because they don't follow the Bible. They follow the Talmud, right? That's why they do rituals on babies. You know what I'm saying? Sick rituals on babies, using their lips, their mouth, and their tongue to take the foreskin off of little babies. That is a ritual. That is not of the Lord. That is of pedophilia, but that's not of the Lord, right? Okay, so our sons and daughters will be given to another people. Absolutely incredible. That happens to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How do we know? Because there's white folks that have the money, right, that are celebrities that do what? Go and get two little black boys. They little Africans anyway, so I don't care. I'm just saying what they do. And they got two little, I can't remember the lady's name because I don't concentrate on their names. But I did read the article to where she went. It's just some type of experiment. She went to go get two little boys. Now she's raising them like two little girls. Right? Raising like two little, and Angela, I be messing up their names. Jolena, right? And Brad Pitt, right? I got his name right. Right? And they get the little babies, and they just, they feel like they just done something because they went and got them a little African baby. Right? They ain't no different than Oprah, helping out another nation of people. When Oprah does that, the nation suffers. See? That's why us in the I.S.U.P.K, we have to walk a straight line. Right? And just like 12 Shir Jeremiah Hyman did over the weekend when he said clearly, what did he say? He said, you could be the one that's slowing Christ from coming. Right? Because you in, but you ain't all the way there. And Yahawashi is trying to seal the 144,000. Right? The ruling, well, like you said, right? The ruling government is going to rule the earth. Right? And he's waiting for the ones who will not bow their knee down to Baal. You see what I'm saying? Who are not going to say what? God love everybody. That's a lie. Who are not going to say, the so-called white man and woman have a chance for salvation to stand next to me, let me hold your hand, and sing some gospel songs. That's not going to happen because the Bible says what? Though hand join in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. And you're going to end up getting punished with the wicked.
Right.
See what I'm saying? By trying to save them. Love your nation of people. How do you love your nation of people? By following the commandments. Right? That's how we get our sons and daughters back from another nation. Right? Keep going. And thine eyes.
Come on, sir. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
Listen, man, y'all don't understand that, do you? Like church Christians don't understand that. And it says, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them. Like, man, I sure want my children back, but you're not going to get them. You don't have any might in your hand. And ain't no might in no damn cardboard protesting. Ain't no might in no wood post, man. Ain't no might marching with your enemies right next to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The black woman thought it was might when she marched in the feminist movement. Then once the white woman got what she needed, she went back to her white man. Where are the white feminist movement right now? For the black woman. They abandoning her. You know why? Because we are the nation undesired. Everybody hates us. And we truly, for some reason, think that we can love all nations of people. So we keep loving our nations of people, all nations, and guess what? Our sons and daughters get taken from the very people who we say we love. And they give them their doctrine. And they feed them their ideologies and their falsehoods. And emasculate our men and put them in dresses. So as we get older, our nation falls apart. The water. Our nation falls apart, man. You see what I'm saying? The water. Our nation falls apart. Well, guess what? Theirs goes higher and higher, and we get lower and lower. Right? And we're gonna drop down some more. Drop down to let me see. Drop down to good night. I might have you go up. Hold on. I might have you go up just to cover this. Right? Where's the good night. Go up to verse 20.
Come on, sir. Mm-hmm. Verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto do.
Everything you do, the Lord gonna curse you, man. Everything you try to do, you're gonna be so mad and vexed and angry, you're not gonna be able to get anything accomplished. And rebuke means correction. Every time as soon as you try to do something, it's not gonna work. Right? You remember people say that? Man, every step I try to take, I fall back to. You know what I'm saying? While the other nations, everything they touch, not gold, but turn to platinum. You be like, what is going on? Because you're seeking the love of your enemies who hate you. Right? And you're trying to do it their way instead of doing it the way that it works, which is to follow the blueprint that's already in the Bible that worked for the prophets before us. Right. That's what the Bible is. The Bible is a book of our goods and our bads, our ups and our downs, our success stories and our failures. Right? And we can learn from every story in here, especially when our people fail. That's what it's doing in the book. It's a history book for us not to make the same mistakes over and over again. Right? And that's how we know we're not reading the Bible. Right? That's how we know our people are of our father, the devil. Because they'll look you straight in your eye and say, man, I read that Bible before. That's a white man's book. And say, no, you looked at YouTube and you heard somebody say that. Right? You can't look at you, and try to ear hustle the Bible and say, nah, I got it down. Right? All right, so give me some more. Say vexation and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for you to do, right? Unto for to do. So anything you touch, the Lord gonna mess it up if it's not of the Lord. Keep going.
Come. Until thou be destroyed.
No, until thou be saved.
Until thou be destroyed.
No, until thou be successful.
Until thou be destroyed.
Read on.
Come. And until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings.
You hear that? Because of the wickedness of your doings, man. Keep going.
Come. Whereabout thou hast forsaken me.
Because why? You've forsaken the Lord. And that's why it speaks in I know you're holding Isaiah 51:23. I got you. Right? Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 says what? Our people fall what? Somebody get it for me. Our people fall what? Due to a lack of knowledge. And that's all our people say right there. I know everybody in the room at least heard that. That's called an ear hustle. Oh yeah, you're right. Our people perish due to a lack of knowledge. What else does that verse say? And if we knew what else that verse said, then we would get in line as a people, right? But we want to ear hustle the Bible and only retain what's good for us, right? What's going to get us a piece of tail, right? Or what's going to get us liked by somebody else? But in I.S.U.P.K, we read the whole verse and have the entire verse broken down so we don't trip and stumble again, right? Read the verse real quick.
Wakan. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
See, he says, my people, not everybody. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Let's find out what the knowledge is. Keep going.
Wakan. Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Hold on, there's more to this verse. Keep going. Because what? Because thou what?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
So that's why our people fall from a lack of knowledge, because we reject the knowledge of the prophets that's on the planet, giving it to us on the corner Fridays and Saturdays all across this earth. We hear the word, but we don't want to follow it. You see, but we are getting the word from the priests and prophets who were here what? When Christ was here. So these people say they love Christ, they love Jesus. If you love YAHANNA, his name in ancient Hebrew, if you love Christ, then you will listen to his messengers, the priests who are on the planet right now, saying the exact thing that Christ said, word for word, because we're reading it out of the Bible. Read on. Rejected.
Hosea 4:6.
Because she had rejected, right?
Sir. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Oh, so we supposed to grow up and be priests. But the Lord said, if you forget my knowledge, I'm going to destroy you. To where you're not going to even be priests for me no more. So what are we going to be? If we're not priests, I tell you what we are. We're thugs. We're gangsters. We're mobsters. I'm a killer. I'm a dope dealer. Right? I'm a dope doer. You feel what I'm saying? You know what? We are covenant breakers. Right? That's what we are. And we don't love the Lord when we don't follow the commandments. When you look at your people and you have a responsibility and you say, I'm woke or I'm in the truth, and you breaking commandments, you hate your people, man. That's why a lot of people don't come and they get the hell out of here. Because they see, wow, I hate myself and I hate my people. Because the Lord woke me up and said, this is what's right and that's wrong out there in the world. You get a taste of it. You get a taste of the heavenly gift, only to go right back into the world, right? And that's why the Lord know. That's why these curses are here. Right? Keep going.
Come on, sir. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
So guess what? You gonna forget the commandments? You gonna forget the law of our God? What happened? What did he say?
I will also forget thy children.
He gonna forget your children. The Lord say what? The brother say what? Let me answer the question, right? When you die, what happens?
Become resurrected, sir.
Right. You reincarnate.
Right.
You come right back. Why? Because you ain't slick. You're going to have to pay for what you did the last time you was here. What you think? You think the Lord is a joke? You think the God of Israel is some Plato you can lie to? No, go lie to your pastor. You can't lie to the Lord who's watching you, and he's a shot caller with all the angels around you. You got to walk straight. All right? Now, you can't walk behind another nation because those other nations are crooked. And the Lord say, who can make straight which that I've made crooked? I'm paraphrasing. In other words, if the Lord made a nation wicked, you can't go to them after they apologize to you and say, yeah, you know what, you're right, and I believe you, Sally. And I love you. Oh, thank you, Shaquita. Oh, I love you so much. And you're loving on them. They don't give a damn about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How do we know? Because we went out there. And Captain Yatazak was in San Antonio, right? We were in Austin. So I'm saying in Houston. And when he grabbed that microphone and began to speak, some people left. Guess who the son was? Somebody surprised me. Go ahead.
It was the white people.
All white people left the crowd. We're here for George Floyd. No, you're not. You're here for college credit. What are you doing here? You go on to school online and go out there and be around the Negroes and put your fist in the air and Give some college credit and write it down. I'll give you an A. A means Anglo. Like it's retarded. Right? And if we served our nation and our God, first of all, we wouldn't be getting gunned down in the street. Hands down. The Lord has to sever us from other nations. Who knows what the word sever means? Go ahead in the back. Right, to separate, to tear apart. Right? If I sever this cup, I can't just take this bottle and just go like that. I got to get something. It's going to be kind of, kind of forcibly when I do that. So now how can the Lord separate the children of Israel from other nations? Easy. Have them gunned down repeatedly in the street until we wake up and say, you know what? I think we need to just, separate from this monster that's killing us over and over again. And leave it to the Christian pastors, right? And the NAACP, right? Negroes always accepting Caucasian people. If you leave it up to them, then they're going to do what? Well, we just need a change in the police force. We need to get a change and make things better. No, we don't. We need our own law enforcement. Right. What's the problem? The problem is cops killing black men in the street. You can hands up, don't shoot all you want to. Go to the round table and sit with them and just make one announcement. It could last probably 30 seconds to a minute. Hey, look here. I represent all black people. You got to speak worldly, right? I represent all black people on face of the earth, and I'm a spokesman. It's not going to take long. I'm going to go to lunch. You no longer have the authority, okay, to stop us and pull us over in the street, okay? You're not authorized. You're not in charge of our nation, all right? As of today, we're governing ourselves, all right? All right, see you later, brother. That's it. Now, if you want to help us out, then give us some handcuffs. Give us some billy clubs. Give us some tasers, because Negroes is crazy, all right? Because we've been living in the land, right, of an oppressor. And our people have mental issues. And we hate each other, because we've been taught that by the slave master. So if you want to help us, give us some AK-47, some bulletproof vests, give us tear gas. Y'all were shooting at us, some stuff like that. Just, give us some police, material. Give us a couple vans and stuff. Y'all help us out. But you and that training, can't no 30-day training, no 8-hour day of class do it. Oh yeah, I went to class for 16 hours this weekend. I'm certified to deal with black people. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm saying Esau is a killer. He's a hunter. And he's our whipping stick. And guess what? We don't know who's going to die next. But it's going to happen. Because you can't seek love from somebody who hates you. And these curses continue to get on us. Why? Because the Lord ain't on our side. As a nation of people, the Lord's not on our side. Right? And it's not going to be spearheaded by 3 lesbians. Okay? The curses will continue to happen as long as people walking around with Black Lives Matter or BLM, whatever you want to abbreviate it. Show me in the Bible where it say BLM or Black Lives Matter movement going to change the world. Show it to me in the Bible. For the sake of time, it's not in there. It's not in there. If we turn back to the Lord our God, that's what you give me. Give me Second Chronicles 7 and 14, right? That's how you stop it. We got curses coming to us back to back. How can we stop it? Right? This is what we need to know. It's all in the Bible how to stop it. Right? 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. First one can get it, can read it.
Come on, sir. The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7.
Hey, turn that mic up.
Chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven.
Read it again with the mic. They probably heard you. I just want to hear on the speaker. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves.
That's the first thing we got to do is humble ourselves. Negro, you don't know it all. As a matter of fact, you know absolutely nothing. And it's okay to say that. When you come into the truth, you are a newborn baby. Name me somebody in the world that was born again and was grown when they came out the womb. Everybody that's born out the womb of a woman, right, is a baby. You have to teach that baby everything all over again. Walk, teach it how to talk, right? Teach it how to act, how to react. It's a baby again, right? Keep going.
Come on. And pray and seek my face.
We got to pray and then seek the Lord's face. How do you seek the Lord's face, somebody? Go ahead. Right. And repent means what? Right, which means to change. That's what the church is caught into a vicious cycle of. Church say we repent. Repent in the name of Jesus. Whatever you want to call it. You repent. Then you go back into the world and sin all week. Then you come back in and repent again on Sunday and you go back into the world. And it's a vicious cycle of sinning and repenting. And sinning and repenting. And sinning, I mean, it's just the American way. It's called Christianity. It's called white supremacy. It's called lawlessness. Right? It's called death. That's what it's called. The wages of sin are death. The workings of sin, the wages, works, right? That's how you get put to death. That's how coronavirus angel come and visit you. Right? Keep going.
Come on. And turn from their wicked ways.
We have to do what?
Turn from their wicked ways.
So we have to turn from our wicked ways, right? Hey, that mic is up over here. Turn it up right there. All right. And we have to turn from our wicked ways, right? Turn from your cigarettes. Put down the weed, right? Not my mic, but his mic, right? His, yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Say something?
Check.
Okay, that's it. Not smoking weed, right? I mean, listen, when that was said in the crowd, when Captain Yatazak said that, the crowd, like white folks, just dispersed. They just left, right? Because I'm pretty sure they all had one rolled up waiting at the house when they got back to celebrate. You know, walking in a crowd of black people, right? It's like a high for them. That's a high. They got vaporizers just waiting at the house, right? All right, keep going.
Come on. Then will I hear from heaven.
Then once you pray and you humble and you seek God's face, you do these commandments, what's going to happen then? What?
Then will I hear from heaven.
Hold on. Say it again.
Then will I hear from heaven.
Then the Lord going to hear you from heaven. It's not happening before that. Lord ain't finna hear you from nothing, man. Keep going.
Come on. And will forgive their sin.
And guess what? We are the only ones that can have our sins forgiven. All right? Barakatah Yahweh Shah for that.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Can't another nation? Can anybody answer why other nations' sins can't be forgiven? Can anybody answer that? Go ahead.
Because they wasn't given the law and the commandments, sir.
Right, because the commandments, the laws of the Most High, the God of Israel, they've only given to his children. This is family business. It has nothing to do with another nation. Now, I know, so-called white folks, they read the book and, somebody from India come over here and some Chinese man be sitting in church, Jesus Christ. Like, golly, you sick on the white man's wine too, huh? Got him drunk. Got the Japanese that left Buddha, right? He done left Buddha alone. Now Jesus Christ is his God. He's the salvation, right? And if you keep your eye on that, you can see how the white man, you can see how our oppressor puts everybody else under a spell like that. If you just come out of yourself and look, you can see, man, all these other nations under a spell, man. That's how he did us. Right? Have us believing in white Jesus. Long, stringy hair. blue eyes, right? With a toga, with shirt out, with a shoulder out. Now how you gonna have a shoulder out when showing your shoulders is a form of nakedness? You see what I'm saying? Man, listen, man. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come on, come. And we'll heal the land.
And then he'll heal our land, man. We'll get our inheritance then. You know what I'm saying? And all nations are going to be separated from each other. Period. That's how we get up out these curses, man. You know what I'm saying? If not, it's going to be what? He going to bring pestilence on, you know what I'm saying? He going to bring pestilence on us, and he going to consume our land like we did. You know what I'm saying? All right, and read verse 22. In verse 22, Deuteronomy 28 and 22. Boy, listen, this something. Oh, we're finna get. I think this is it right here. Huh? Yeah, this is it right here. Good night. Let me tell you something. Everything is in the Bible. Everything is in the Bible that you can imagine. Every facet of life, of your imagination of thinking, it's in the Bible. But it's not in the Christian church.
Right.
All the answers, the priests and prophets of the Lord, who are trained, authorized, certified, right, and ordained to do this by Commanding General YAHANNA, know the answers. Listen, if I don't know them, I'm gonna call up in rank, and I'm gonna get that answer, right? The pastor don't have the answer. When he don't have the answer, he say what? It's a mystery, brother. Brother, it's a mystery. Everything. See, let me tell you something about God. See, you know, brother, you can't know everything about God. It's a mystery. The more I'm in the truth now, I get it. Hey, pastor, it's a mystery to you, okay? Not to the priests and prophets, because the Bible says the mysteries will be revealed to the priests and prophets of the Lord. So how can it be a mystery when the Bible says the mysteries and the dark sayings in the Bible are going to be revealed to those who serve him? Right? All right, give me that scripture in 22. Let's read this curse right here.
Come on, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation.
Stop right there. The Lord will strike thee. That's what the word smite means, right? Thee with the consumption and with the fever. Now, what are they doing today with coronavirus? You can't even get into certain restaurants or certain places without them taking your what? Without taking your temperature, right? You can't even do that without them taking, because why? They searching for a what? They looking for a what?
For a fever.
For a fever. The Lord said he gonna strike you with a fever in class. The Lord said he gonna strike you with a fever. Right? Keep going.
Come on. And with an extreme burning. And with the sword.
Hold on. What is when the Lord say he gonna strike you and he says extreme burning, what is he talking about? I know y'all know that, y'all just don't know that this is what it is. Extreme burning.
If I could, sir.
Please, somebody just go and tell the truth.
Is that a venereal disease?
That is a venereal disease. Right. When you've been flame broiled, and I ain't talking about Burger King. Right. It's in the Bible. STDs are in the Bible. This is a curse. Because why? Because the brother think that he gonna get an old girl, and it's his friend who may be locked down for a couple months or a year or two. Now he gonna sleep with his gal. Right? That's against the law, statutes, and the commandments of God. Right? For a woman being a whore, right? There will be no whores in the daughter of Israel, nor a sodomite, which is a homosexual, for men. And when you do those things, guess what comes from it? AIDS. That's what that is. AIDS, man. In the Bible. But now you're not going to see the word AIDS. Don't be shallow-minded, right? When you see poetry, you don't always see what you're looking for, right? But you can have it broken down to you by the priests and prophets, and they're going to let you know, right? Okay, come on, give me some more of that verse.
Con, sir. And with blasting.
And with blasting, good night. Keep going. That's that burn. Keep going.
Con. And with mildew.
Good night. Y'all hear this, man? With mildew. All right? You put it in the wrong thing, it'll fall off. Literally. This is in the Bible. This is graphic poetry. That's in the Bible. Keep going.
Con. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
You see that? So you're not going to be able to get away with it. You end up getting something that you can't get away with. And guess where you can get just about all of these from? Sleeping with other nations. And those nations sleep with dogs. They sleep with gorillas. They sleep with sheep. It's called bestiality. Right? And that's how you get these. Besides our people doing what? Being disobedient to the Most High God, right? Not wanting to follow the Lord God. And now our people have a historical moment once again called the what? Tuskegee Project. When they put syphilis and gonorrhea in our men because they say we had bad blood. The Lord is our whipping stick. He uses them for the whipping stick. You got to be a damn fool to go to another nation and trust them and say, well, you know what? I got bad blood. So, since I have bad blood, I'm going to go let these so-called white folks, the oppressor, put a pin and stick it in me. Guess what? That's a curse. We should believe in your own nation of people. We should have our own doctors and lawyers and hospitals and nurses. We should have our own instead of going to another nation depending on them. Right? Abortions are all in the Bible. Abortions in it too. You see what I'm saying? And these are the things that we need to learn about the God of Israel. He will spank you as well. He's going to pursue you, right, until we perish. Over and over again, the Lord will do these things until you wake up. Now, if you just want to be, hard-headed, then Lord be with you because that's what you're going to need. But now is not the time. You know what I'm saying? To be going back and forth. You holding the scripture for me? All right, go ahead. And you give me Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
Right. So this is talking about, Isaiah is talking about the pain that we went through, right? And how it's going to be a changing of the guard, right? And all the pain that we went through, the Lord is going to afflict it with our enemies now. They got a judgment to pay. Don't forget, the children of Israel suffer, right? And God gets mad at us because we break the commandments that were given to us. Now, the other nations, they'll get punished, but it won't be because they breaking commandments, but it will be because of the way they treated the children of Israel. White man not gonna get punished for eating pork. He'll get punished for treating us the way they treating us and hanging us and putting us on slaves, making us slaves the way they did, right? Doing the extra stuff like tying one leg to two, each tying your right leg to a horse and tying your left leg to a horse and making them run in separate directions. See? The Lord said that he was angry with us for a while, right? But they helped to forward the affliction, right? They helped to take it to a level of a satanic level that we could never think of. And they got to pay for that the way they did the children of Israel. So they're just supposed to tell us, well, you the children of Israel, and the Lord mad at y'all, because y'all need to follow commandments. Y'all need to do the right thing, man. Y'all have rulership one day. They ain't tell us that. What they did was say nigger, black. They said what? Afro-American, named us after a hairstyle, right? You are Afro-American. Then we started getting fresh ball fades and high tops, and women started wearing perms. And, I go, they're back to this African movement, so I guess we'll call them African-Americans. Like, so we fell for that. Black Americans. We fall, like they named us at least 5 or 6 times, man, in 70 years. They name us ever so often.
Colored, sir.
Oh, colored, Salaki, yeah, coloreds. And guess what? Those names, like I say, NIGGA. You know what I'm saying? But you got the NAACP and the intelligent Negroes who, I think that the white man has done terrible to us coloreds. Man, you might as well say NIGGA, my brother. Like, how could you say colored? You see what I'm saying? So what, we a crayon box now? Really? You see what I'm saying? Like, the only name for us is the name for my father, which is Israel. Israel went against the angel, a real angel, went to war, battled, fought against the angel, and won. That's what makes that story so significant. A real angel, right? And then his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. We're called Israelites. We're named after our father Jacob, right? Whose name was Israel, right? We're not blacks. We're not any other name that they'll give us. You know what I'm saying? Which shows we're Israelites because we don't know who we are. In the land of our captivity, we have no idea who we are. Right? Okay, give me some more. That's it on that?
Sir.
Okay, keep going.
Which have said to thy soul,
Uh-huh.
bow down, that we may go over.
What did we do? Bow down.
Con, sir.
What did we do?
Bow down.
We said bow down. Keep going.
That we may go over.
And let the other heathen nation walk over us. Keep going.
And thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
And we laid our body as the ground. Keep going.
And as the street.
And as a street.
To them that went over.
And let these people walk over us. How do you lay your body down like that? Give me Jeremiah 2:33. You still holding what for me? Yeah, hold that. Give me that. Yeah, 2:33. Right? How do you lay down? How do you add to your curses? Right? How do you lay down your body as the ground and like the street for another nation to walk over? How do you do that? Anybody can answer that? Go ahead.
You stop being who you are and start trying to be like them, and you showing them that they have the advantage over you by trying to be like them.
Right. Give me some examples of that. Somebody give me some examples. Somebody give me an example of laying your body down in the street for somebody to walk over. Go ahead.
Shaving your beard just to get a particular job, sir.
That's a good one. Give me one, sis.
Here.
Blonde hair. That's a good one. Give me one.
American weddings.
American weddings, yeah. Give me some good ones though. How do you lay your body down in the street for somebody to walk over? Do I gotta make some noise? Wanna make some sound effects?
Saying God loves everybody.
That now we talking. Right? You say God love everybody. That ain't in the Bible. How else you lay down? Did I gotta sing a song for somebody to catch on? Ding, 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 ding.
All the holidays.
Oh, now we talking. Now we really talking. Doing what now?
Practicing all the wicked holidays.
Give me some examples of wicked holidays for the people online who might not know what a wicked holiday is.
So like if I may say Halloween.
Halloween, dressing your kids up like ghouls and goblins and skeletons and demons, right? On a wicked known devil holiday, right? for some candy, trick or treat, and it's a story behind trick or treat. That's not today's class, but for some candy, right? Doing your children like that, man. That's form of pedophilia. Keep going.
Oh, and then your birthday, celebrating your
Now
birthday.
we talking about it. Birthday. What else? How do we disrespect our Native American Indian brothers? Thanksgiving. Celebrating that Thanksgiving, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so now we know it's the wicked holidays. That's how we lay ourselves down. Now give me Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33, Bible Kashah.
Come on, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
What does that mean? Why trim it way to seek love? Keep going.
Come. Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
See what I'm saying? That we done taught them our ways, man. You see that? By being like that. See? And that's how we need to wake up as a people. Don't trim your way for no slave, man. You look them right in their eyes. Nah, I ain't doing no Christmas. Hey, but listen, it's my slave. Look, come here. I ain't gonna say boss, man, but you know, the one in charge, right? I'm trying to get off for the Passover, right? I'm gonna need about 7-8 days. But what I would like to do, Sally and Tommy and Billy and Sebastian, all of them, I work all of their days during Christmas. Guess what he's gonna tell you? That's a pretty good idea. I like your attitude, but we shut the shop down for 2 weeks. So you can't do that. All right? You can't do that. So what's gonna happen? Well, I'm gonna need to take off 7-8 days. We can take off if you want to. You can take off if you want. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. When you come back, you won't have no job, but yeah, you can take off all you want. That's because they hate us and they have no respect. And another reason is there's not a nation of us doing it. That's what the problem is. If it was a nation of us doing it, let the Chinese people just go in there and just tell them, oh, yeah, we take off for bat. It's National Bat Eating Day. We need 2 weeks to recover. We eat bat and then we eat rat, and we need 2 weeks to recover. You're gonna say, shoot, man, you could take 2 weeks off. Cause why? I don't want the Japanese embassy coming down here, against my job, and I lose my job. I lose my building. You're gonna say, Mr. Jap, you can take off. Then what you think you're gonna do? You gonna get on the phone? Call that colored boy from back of there. Call that colored boy. Come here, colored boy. We're gonna need you to work 2 extra weeks. Yeah, see what I'm saying? But you can't get off of what you want to do. Right? So the Lord said, well, we cursed in the field, man. Right? Keep going, that's it? Yeah, that was it for that verse. Now give me Ecclesiastes. This is what we need to do. Right? This is how you come up off those curses right now. Right? And our time is up, as a matter of fact, just throwing that out there. We've already done our time, man. Israel's already served our time. Now, this is what we need to do right now. This is what we should be doing. RAT now, rat now. No relation to Chinese people. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die.
Listen, y'all. It's a time to be born and it's a time to die. And guess what? This is also twofold. Meaning, of course, there's a time for you to be born physically, right? There's a time that everybody physically has to die, right? But this Bible is twofold, sometimes more folds than that. Right? So now it's a time to do what? It's a time to be born again, and that old person who you were, it's time for that person to die. Right. You understand? Keep going.
Come on. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
So it's a time to plant. It's a time to pluck up that which is planted. It's a time and a season for everything, right? We need to plant truth. That's what we need to do. We need to plant our own nationality, man, and reap the benefits of us being together as a nation. See what I'm saying? Right? It's time to pluck up that which is planted. Right? Keep going.
Come on, verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal.
Man, God don't kill. Kill ain't in the Bible. Read it again.
A time to kill and a time to heal.
Not my Jesus. What did it say?
A time to kill and a time to heal.
So it is a time to kill, right? It's a time to heal. Guess what? The time for GDs and vice lords and bloods and crips, right? And altercations in the clubs and stepping on my sneaker, and this girl then came in the club with the same dress I got on. I'm up in to beat her. Right? She stepped on my stilettos and scratched my purse, and all this out the door. We killed each other for years. Now it's time to heal. We heal by coming together as a people and following these commandments, man, and realizing that we are the undesired people on the whole planet. But guess one person that we're not undesired too, and that's the Lord, man. That's the Most High God, the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, right? He loves us, right? And he's waiting on us to do his commandments and walk straight in his commandments. Give me some more.
Come on. A time to break down and a time to build up.
Listen, man, it's time to break down everything that we've done that's wicked. You know what I'm saying? It's time to break down, right? Got to break it down. All this envy and strife and, hatred and egoism for brothers and sisters in our nation, time to break that down, man. Right, break it down. And it's time to build up love. That's why they say love covers a multitude of sins, right? Brotherly love. When I say brotherly love, I also mean sister love. Sisterhood is the same thing. You can't have one without the other. And it's time to break down all those negative barriers, man, and pick up the loving of these commandments and build up our own nation. Show that love and the glory of heaven is for us. The covenants and the promises are for us. See what I'm saying? And the love that we have, that we give to these other nations, it's time to give it to us and build up our kingdom right here on earth. Give Yahawashi, give Christ something to rule when he get back. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh.
Listen, we done cried enough. I mean, who's gonna cry? We don't weep over both male and female. We don't weep over half of Israel getting killed by cops. I could go through my phone right now and just flip and flip and flip and flip and name all these names, man. It's got to stop. Crying time is over, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to laugh. What are we gonna laugh at? How stupid we were. That's what we can laugh at. We can laugh at how long it took us to come and love each other. It's time to laugh at these feast days. Coming together and having fun, man. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to get to know your brother and get to know your sister, man, and bring it on home, right? It's time to have fun amongst our own nation. And when we see their nation fall, when we see these other nations and their calamities and their troublesome start to happen to them, we laugh. Keep reading.
Come on. A time to mourn and a time to dance.
Y'all know what that is. It's time to be sad. Now it's time to dance. Right? When you're oppressed every day and you can't ride down the street, right? When you're going to church and you're looking for a God and you're not getting any of your answers answered by the pastor, and you're saying all types of wickedness inside the church, and you bounce from church to church. And some people's children are older and they get into all, they done went from private school to public school to alternative school. You know what I'm saying? They're in the green room now. They stay in detention. That'll make a mother mourn, man. That'll make a father mourn. You know what I'm saying? But then when you come back and you come into Israelite school, Universal Practical Knowledge, and you get in these classes right here, and you go to what the kingdom of heaven is really like right on earth, let me tell you something. It's time to dance, man. It's time to be happy. It's time for mirth. It's time for celebration. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 5. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together.
That's simple right there. You know what I'm saying? There is a time that you say, what? Throw these stones away. They ain't working. Then there's a time to do what? A time to gather stones. It's time to throw these other nations away and gather together with your own people. Gather together, O nation not desired. Gather together before the decree is passed. Right? Keep going.
Come on, a time to embrace and a time to refrain.
It's time to embrace your people, your nation of people. It's not time to go and protest and start embracing with the enemy. We should refrain from embracing with the enemy. And the death angel has showed us that with the coronavirus, right? Because I only embrace with my brothers and sisters. There is no outside embracing with any heathens, with any sinners that if I know they out there sinning, they ain't in this school. If they outside this school, 12 feet. You know what I'm saying? 6 feet ain't enough. So lucky. That's a good example. I ain't never want nobody up on me always anyway, so I'm good with that. Keep going.
Come on. And a time to refrain from embracing. Verse 6. A time to get and a time to lose.
Listen, y'all. It's time to get it right now. You understand? Now is the time for the children of Israel to get it, man. Strike the iron while it's hot.
Right.
Love your brother and sister. Now, if you ain't loving your brother and sister and trying to come into the truth, then guess what? You love your oppressor, man. And guess what? It's your time to lose right now. See what I'm saying? The brothers who are coming in this truth, it's our time to win. You understand? It's our time to get. And listen, and in all of your getting, get understanding. In all of your wisdom, get understanding, man. And you get in the I.S.U.P.K and humble yourself and get in these classes and learn the truth, man, and better your life before it's too late. Keep going.
Come on. A time to keep and a time to cast away.
At one time, it was time to keep all your heathen friends. Keep all of them. Right? Now it's time to cast them away. Like a mistress towel. It's time to cast them away. Right? Now is not the time to be loving on heathen nations, man. Now is not the time to be marching side by side with your oppressor and the children of the oppressor, saying we all one and we all human. Now is not the time to do that. Now is not the time to be committing no crimes. Now is not the time to be looting, burning up cars, following after white folks, because that's who's doing it. Going in, I'm going to get me a pair of Jordans and a damn wig. That's a crime. And now is not the time to be going to jail. Trust that. Now is not the time to be in and out of the court system. I'm telling you, being there on some habeas corpus, I'm telling you. You be on there and they'll ignore you, throw you away, and will not let you out for something, a minor infraction. Now is not the time to be in the hands of law enforcement. Read on.
Come on, verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow.
A time to do it. What does rend mean? What does that mean? When you rend something, when you rent something. All right, go ahead. To rip or to tear. That's what it means, right? So that's a time to rend, right? Because why? A time to rend in the Bible for the Israelites was when something tragic happened or somebody died. Sometimes you would tear hair out of your beard or you would tear your clothes, right? It was a form of expression, for grievance or sad times. You know what I'm saying? When they put on sackcloth, right? They put on black and sackcloth, right? But it's also a time to do what? To sow. So guess what? It ain't time to separate and tear us apart. It's time for us to what? Come together.
Right.
Double sewed up. Double stitch. You understand? It's time for us to come together as a people and stay together as a people. Keep going.
Come on. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
Now this is not it. Now this right here might be tricky, right? When you come into I.S.U.P.K, it's a time to be silent, right? The scripture says what? It's time. You should keep your mouth when you come to the priests and the prophets of the Lord. Keep your foot, rather, as it says, which means close. Be more ready to hear than to talk, than to offer the sacrifice of fools, right? Because those people don't know that they sin like that. You come with a pen and pad, pen and notebook, get ready to write your questions down. Salakia, if I may, da-da-da-da-da. You ask your questions, get them answered. Have a respectful attitude, you'll get a respectful answer. Anything out of that is out of line, and I.S.U.P.K has a protocol for that. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not going to go in the Christian church and cut the pastor off from the seventh pew in the middle. Hey, listen, man, God don't love everybody. You're not going to tell the pastor that. You know why? Because you can't hear, because the band and the choir's playing. So you can't do that. Right? But in here, we're going to have a form of protocol and respect. It's called infrastructure, man. It's called building a respectful nation. And I.S.U.P.K are the most respectful people you ever find. That's why you hear Thawada, Baba Kwasha, right? Salakia. Go ahead.
Oh, so like, so the general's on.
Okay, general's on now?
Go on,
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, listen, that concludes the class. All right, Priesthood Officer 5000, YAHANNA, holding it down for the Monday class, scripture breakdown class. And we'll see you same time tomorrow, right? All through the week, there's classes, all right? And until then, Shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Shabbarakatah to all the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shemartha, B'Shem Shabbat to all the sisters. Hey, you want to read the announcements then? Okay, cool. All right. Shalom, Israel.